This is a trading chart, and statistically speaking, you're gonna lose money looking at it. Not because you don't understand candlesticks, not because you can't draw support and resistance, and definitely not because you haven't watched enough videos about this one secret patterns that banks don't want you to know about. No, you're going to lose money because of this. Your brain. This wrinkly little thing up here is supposed to help you, but actually loses you money in the markets. And the wild part is, you can be the best technical analyst in the world. You could have a 90% win rate. You could execute entries with precise detail. You could know every single little detail about the markets. But if your psychology isn't there, none of it matters. Not even a little bit. You're cooked. After trading for 5 years, I genuinely believe that psychology is 90% of the game. The technical stuff, the playbooks, the entry models, the strategies, those are the other 10%. But without psychology, none of it matters. Without having good psychology, you're basically bringing a knife to a gunfight. Not even a knife, you're bringing a spoon, a plastic spoon. So today, in this video, we're going to dive deeper into 4 psychological demons that is ruining your trading. And then I'm also going to go over the exact mental models you need to overcome them. These 4 psychological problems are the problems that you're gonna face 100% if you're a trader, or if you're trying to become a profitable trader. Like, these psychological issues are those issues that are fundamental, that everybody goes through. And today we're gonna make sure you resolve all of them. Because it took me 5 years and losing more than thousands of dollars to learn these lessons. And I want you to know them without having to go through 5 years of losses. And that's why you're watching this video. Because here's the thing about psychology. It's not like you're gonna become this Zen master sitting with his legs crossed on top of a mountain. No. Psychology is about being familiar with the feelings when you get them. It's about knowing what hits you. Because if you're feeling FOMO but you don't know what FOMO is, that's like being attacked by an invisible ninja. You can't fight what you can't see. So let's make these demons visible. First up, we got FOMO, the dumbest smart feeling. FOMO is probably the most thing you could ever feel as a trader. And yes, I said because that's what it is, frankly. You know this feeling, a move just happened, you didn't take it, you didn't capitalize, and suddenly your brain is screaming at you. Your brain is screaming at you like the market is gonna disappear tomorrow and you just lost your only opportunity at financial freedom. Your brain is so in the moment that it's subconsciously thinking that it's never gonna see a candle ever again. So let's break down what's actually happening in your brain. There's this thought that new traders have, and it's completely subconscious, which means you're not even aware of it. And that is that, like I said, the markets will disappear tomorrow. You're operating with insane recency bias, where you're only looking at your immediate next step. It's like walking in a dark room with a mini flashlight where you can only see the next step and you can't see far ahead at all. You're almost operating as if tomorrow doesn't exist. As if today is the only chance and you have to take this opportunity, otherwise you will die poor and alone. That's how your brain subconsciously think when you get FOMO. Here's the first solution. Zoom out. The markets will be here next week. The markets will be here next year. The Forex market isn't going anywhere. You know how many times there has been where I've gotten FOMO, entered a position I shouldn't have entered, blew my account, and then I had to wake up the next day and the market was still there, lo and behold. But I didn't have a fucking account. So there's always gonna be more opportunities. There's always gonna be another day of trading. The opportunities are literally infinite. You have to shift your mind from thinking, today is all I got, I have to force this mediocre setup, to I can wait because the Forex market is gonna be here tomorrow and the day after that, so I can wait for a perfect setup. The best traders in the world look at trading as a day-to-day discipline. They're not looking to hit some lottery. They're looking at, all right, I have to wake up and follow my strategy and wait for the perfect entry. If it doesn't come today, it'll come tomorrow. If it doesn't come tomorrow, it'll come the day after that. They're not forcing mediocre setups because they understand, wait, zoom out. There's a lot more trading that's gonna happen in my life. I'm gonna see so many more opportunities in the future. I don't need to take this bullshit entry just because I feel FOMO. Let me tell you this crazy statistic. The richest traders in the world, the billionaire traders, I'm talking people who own private islands, the best traders of all time, they trade on average 8 days out of the month. 8 days out of the month. Let that marinate for a second. They're trading 8 days out of 21 trading days. And you're sitting there stressing the fuck out because you missed one single entry, understanding that the market is gonna be here for eternity. Why don't they have FOMO? Have you ever thought of that? Why don't the best traders on earth have FOMO? Why are they not panicking, right? A trade for you might mean $500. A trade for them means $500 million. And they're still not panicking. That's because they understand this concept. They've internalized it. They understand, they know, wait, the market is gonna be here. I don't have to grab every single opportunity. I just grab the opportunities I see and the opportunities I deem to be perfect and a part of my strategy. And that's what you have to do as well. So zoom out and understand the market is gonna be here tomorrow. It's gonna be here for this week. It's gonna be here for the next 5 years. But your account might not be if you keep making stupid mistakes and falling for FOMO. Concept number 2, everybody misses out all the time. Here's something wild that happens in your brain. When you catch a trade and you win that trade, you're not thinking, oh, I bet so many other people missed this trade and I was the only one that caught it. You're not sitting there feeling bad for all the other traders who didn't catch that trade. But when you miss a trade, somehow, You think that everybody else caught it and you're the only one that missed out. You think everybody else is sitting at home counting their money and laughing at you specifically and being like, look at that guy, he just missed that beautiful trade. Do you see how hypocritical that is? Like, your brain is literally gaslighting you. And here's another thing, you're missing out on opportunities all the time, not just when you feel like you're missing out. The market is constantly moving up and down, up and down, up and down, and you could theoretically catch every single move, but you don't. And nobody does. It's literally physically impossible. You're literally missing out all the time. Like, imagine how many trades there are that you can take when you're sleeping, for example. But you're not thinking about those, are you? There are two choices here. Either you're in perpetual state of FOMO because you're missing out all the time, or you just get rid of FOMO at all. So with that thought in mind that you're missing out all the time, unless you want to live in a perpetual state of FOMO, like literally anxiety every single second, not knowing what peace is, you better get rid of FOMO, because you're always missing out anyways. Because the logical thing is, you either have FOMO all the time because you're missing out all the time, or you don't have FOMO at all. You don't get to pick and choose which opportunities and missed setups give you FOMO. That is irrational. That's not how reality works. You probably missed a position 10 minutes ago and didn't feel anything because you didn't know about it. But when you miss a position now, suddenly it's breaking your heart because you saw it. But that doesn't mean that you didn't miss one before as well. So why is this one setup breaking your heart just because you saw it when you probably missed a bunch of other setups before that you didn't see? That's because your brain is being irrational, my friend. So if you want to be a logical, coherent human being, then you have to choose. Either you live in a perpetual state of FOMO because you are technically missing out all the time, or you just cut FOMO out of your life and understand that it's fine. I take the positions I see. I don't care about the positions that I don't. Concept number 3, and this is probably applicable to your whole life. Make a habit of being grateful. When you do catch a trade, be thankful for the opportunity. Be thankful that you're able to spot good trades, because a lot of people are not even able to see that setup because they don't have your strategy and they don't have your knowledge. Because catching every single opportunity that the market gives will never happen to anyone ever. So instead, be grateful for the ones that you do catch. Look, I've been trading for 5 years, and if I caught every single opportunity that I didn't see, every opportunity that slipped out of my hands because I was getting coffee, every single setup that I got a late entry on, if I caught all of those, I'd be a billionaire right now. But I'm here with you guys, and I'm completely content with catching good trades sometimes, because some people don't catch any trades at all. Some people catch trades, but they're just losing money because they don't have the right system, which you luckily have because you follow me, and I have as well. So you have to be grateful for that. So instead of focusing on the impossible and grabbing every single opportunity there is, just focus on grabbing the opportunities that you see, the ones that are congruent with your strategy, and be grateful that you're even able to spot them and make money using them in the first place. Let the other people revenge trade. Let the unprofitable traders lose money in the markets because they have FOMO. But you wait for your perfect setups, and if one slips through your fingers, you understand the market will be here tomorrow and there will be other chances. I pinky promise. Here's a practical tool you can use until you get rid of FOMO and you stop feeling it. Set strict trading times and do not look at the charts outside of those hours. And I'm dead serious about this. This might be the best practical advice I can give you right now. Set your trading hours. From 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. I'm gonna trade. Outside of that, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna look at the charts. I'm gonna trade for London session, or I'm gonna trade New York session. Choose a time window and then stick to it. No checking your phone just in case. No, oh wait, I'm just gonna check quickly. Nothing like that. Stick to it and be disciplined. Because like we talked earlier, you can't get FOMO if you don't see the position that you missed. So just don't look at the charts when it's not your trading window. So let me recap what we just talked about with FOMO. 1, zoom out. The markets will always be here. They're not going anywhere. You're gonna see another candle tomorrow. Today is not all you got. You'll have plenty of more opportunities to catch. 2, everybody misses out all the time. You're not special. But what separates people that are profitable is how fast they can move on from missing an opportunity and how fast they can stop thinking about it. 3, you're missing out on opportunities all the time. So either you're in perpetual state of FOMO or you don't feel any FOMO. There's no in between. Anything else is illogical. 4, be grateful for what you catch, and be grateful that you're even able to spot good setups and that your strategy is a profitable one, because most people don't even have a profitable strategy, and even though they get setups, they just lose money. So be grateful for each and every opportunity that you're able to catch. 5, the best traders on earth trade for 8 days out of the month, so you don't need to trade every day. 6, and finally, set a strict time window where you trade, and outside of that, don't even look at the chart. You do this until you feel like your FOMO is manageable, and then you can start trading whenever you want. And if you can internalize these concepts, you'll see how much easier it will be to deal with FOMO. Now, you won't get rid of FOMO because it's a feeling, and as humans, you will always have feelings. But at least it's not going to be able to control you anymore. And the next thing we're going to talk about is another psychological demon, and that is called a negative spiral. And this one is particularly bad because it is self-reinforcing. It's like quicksand. The more you try to fight it, the deeper you go. And here's an example of what a negative spiral looks like. You lose a trade, and maybe it was a good trade, but it was just a part of the strategy and you took a loss. Or maybe you made a mistake, but you took a loss. And then instead of accepting the loss like a mature adult and a profitable trader, you let that loss become a virus. You get frustrated, you get angry, you want your money back right now. So you take another another trade, but this trade is even worse than the first. Maybe the rules aren't followed. Maybe you're trying to force a trade, and then you lose that one too. And now you're really frustrated. Your brain is literally melted, and you're just seeing red. So you take an even worse trade, and another one, and another one, and another one. You're basically playing Russian roulette. And suddenly you're in this black hole where you're continuously reinforcing bad habits because of previous past bad experiences. And you're just digging yourself deeper and deeper and deeper. You're basically punishing yourself with more bad trades because of previous bad trades. Make it make sense. You're basically fighting yourself. Spoiler alert, you're gonna lose that fight because both sides are you. How do we stop this self-destructive spiral? First, you have to understand that each trade is independent of one another. The market doesn't give a shit that you lost. The market doesn't owe you anything. The market doesn't have feelings. The market is not sitting there thinking, oh wait, I made this guy lose 3 in a row. Maybe I should give him one just to make him feel better. Each trade is a separate event. It's like flipping a coin. Just because you got heads 5 times doesn't mean the 6th time it owes you a tails, right? Even though it feels like that, that's not the truth. Each flip is a separate event. It's completely independent. The same way each trade is completely independent of one another. And your job, your only job, is to execute your strategy. Not to make your money back, not to make up for any losses, just execute your parameters and your edge with clear precision like a robot. Second, revenge trading is just fighting yourself. When you take another trade because you're angry about the last one, you're not fighting the markets, you're only fighting yourself. And that's the dumbest fight you can ever take because no matter who wins, you always lose. The market is neutral. It doesn't care about your feelings. It doesn't care if you need rent money. It doesn't give a shit about you. The market will move how the market moves. And your job is to stay logical and not let it affect your mental. Because think about this. A strategy is a logical thing. It's a statistical edge. You have backtested it, you have refined it, you have found certain patterns and regularities that happen often in the market. That is a logical thing to deduct. If you're feeling emotional, you're interfering with that edge. You're interfering with the logic of the strategy by being emotional. And that means that you're not even following the strategy anymore and following the logic anymore because you're embedding emotions. So that is what revenge trading does. And when it comes to logic versus emotions in trading, logic wins every single time. Third, you need a circuit breaker. A circuit breaker is like a rule that stops you before you spiral out of control. For example, if I lose 2 trades in a row, I'm done for the day. I turn off my computer and I go do something else, train or something. Whatever your circuit break is, it needs to be written down, reinforced, and followed every single time. That needs to be a non-negotiable for you. Because without a circuit breaker, let's say you lose 1 trade. Well, it's fine, it's part of the game. You take a second trade and lose that one as well. Well, now you start to get a little bit frustrated. You lose 3 trades in a row. Well, now you think that the market is hunting your stop loss. And then you lose 4 trades in a row and you're seeing red. Then you lose your 5th, your 6th, and your account is blown. And at that point, you're so deep in a hole that it feels demotivating having to climb back all the way up just to be where you were. But if you stopped at 2 losses, for example, that's no problem. You'll be back in a day or 2. And that's why the circuit breaker is there to save you from yourself. The circuit breaker is basically like a seat belt for your trading account. And fourth is to have a recovery protocol. Let's say you've already spiraled. You're down 5% on your account. You've already taken 5 bad trades in a row. What do you do now? Step 1, close the charts immediately for at least 24 hours. You need distance. Step 2, do something physical. Go to the gym, go for a run, do push-ups. Physical activity resets your mental state. It's like rebooting your brain. Step 3, after some time has gone by, review the mistakes objectively. Not in an emotional way where you hate yourself, but be more like a detective. Look at each trade trying to see what went wrong. Did you follow your rules? Yes or no? Very simple. Step 4, write down your circuit breaker rule and look at it every single day. Place it on your wall, on your monitor, tattoo it on your hand if you have to. Just make sure you can't ignore it. Step 5, when you then come back to the charts, make sure the next trade is perfect. It needs to tick every single box of your strategy because that first trade back is what sets the tone. Have you actually gone off the charts and recovered and came back a better man? Or are you just gonna continue in a negative spiral until you reach the bottom of the earth? So you have to make sure that you tell your brain that, all right, I've learned from my mistakes and I'm back better. Because the negative spiral only continues if you feed it. The moment you say, I'm done, I'm stepping away from the charts, that's when you win. That's when you stop the negative spiral and that's when you regain control. Because you actually have the power, so use it. The negative spiral is optional. You don't have to go there, but you just need the discipline and the power to be able to stop it in its tracks before it's too late. Now we go to section 3, which is maintaining consistency. Now let's talk about the opposite problem, because a lot of people just focus on the bad things, but what happens when things go good? Because here's what nobody tells you about trading. Winning streaks are just as dangerous as losing streaks, maybe even more dangerous. Because when you're losing, at least you know that something's wrong. But when you're winning, when you've won 5 trades in a row, 6 trades in a row, that's when the ego starts to creep in. Your ego starts to whisper sweet things in your ear. You're the man, you're finally figured this out, you're invincible, you can't lose the trades, you're a fucking genius. And there's this story I love about Marcus Aurelius, is when he was the Roman emperor, meaning he was the emperor and the leader of the biggest empire in the world. He was basically king of earth. He had a guy that was following him around and always whispering in his ear, "You're just a man." And that was to keep him grounded and to keep him humble. Because as soon as you start to believe you're the man, as soon as you start to believe that you're invincible and you're basically no trading now, that's when you're about to blow your account in the most spectacular fashion. So how do you maintain an upwards trajectory without self-destructing? Your trading is basically a series of peaks and troughs, like a roller coaster, but one where you actually control the cart. An uptrend means making the peaks as long as possible, and a trough means keeping them as short as possible. So the first way you do it is have a strategy, a playbook, and follow it religiously. Follow it like it's your Bible. Follow it like it's a sacred text. Because if you do not have objective rules for your entry to follow every day, you will start to trade emotionally. And emotional trading is like drunk driving. It feels good in the moment, you feel fine, but it's probably going to end very badly. And here's why this matters. You see, your emotional state goes up and down every single day. Some days you wake up and you feel like you can conquer the world. Other days you wake up and you wonder why you even exist. And that's just being human. But now if your emotional state is connected to your trading account, meaning you trade emotionally, up and down, up and down, up and down, unpredictable, and just simply chaotic. So you want to disconnect these two things. You don't want your emotions to be connected to your trading account. What controls your trading account is simply your playbook, your strategy. Your playbook is the only thing that controls what happens to your trading account, which trades you take. Not your daily mood, not whether you're confident or scared, not what happened before you enter the charts, not if you stubbed your toe right before, none of that. Now write them down, put them on your wall, and make a commitment. The only trades that I'm allowed to take are the trades that are congruent with my strategy. If I have a trade and the parameters for me taking an entry are not there, I don't take that trade, regardless of how well I feel about it. It's actually quite simple. If a trade aligns with the playbook rules, take it, regardless of how you feel. Sad, I take it. Angry, I take it. Horny, I'm taking it. It doesn't matter as long as it follows the playbook. The only reason I should not take a trade is if my rules for my playbook are not followed. It's as simple as that. And I want to say it 1,000 times just so it's tattooed in your brain, but there's only so much time I have in this video. So I'm going to say it one more time. The only reason you should take a trade is if it follows the parameters of your strategy. That's it, nothing else. And number 2 on how to maintain a peak is stay humble. The number 1 reason why people fall off a peak and go into a trough is because they get overconfident. They win a few trades in a row, things are going good, so they feel invincible. And when they feel invincible, they get too confident, they get comfortable, and they start making mistakes. They start taking risks they shouldn't take because they feel like they can't handle them. They start deviating from the rules because they feel like the rules don't apply anymore. I'm so good. They're special now. And that's when they blow their account. That's when they take a trade that makes absolute no fucking sense at all and blow 3 weeks worth of profit in 20 minutes. So you have to stay humble. Constantly remind yourself, I'm not some special guy. I'm not a genius. I'm actually nobody. I'm just somebody that follows a strategy that is proven to work over time. And that's it. I'm basically a trading robot because that's how you get detached from the outcome. Because think about it, if you get too overconfident, when you then inevitably take a loss, because you will take a loss, it's a part of the game, when you take that loss, it will feel like a bullet. It's gonna hit way harder than it should, right? It's gonna feel like it's a personal attack, like you got betrayed by the market, because your ego has grown to such a point where every single loss is an attack at your personality, is an attack on you. And that's why you should always be humble and understand that, wait, all I do is I just match the charts with a strategy that is proven to work. That's all I do. I'm the middleman. That's how you have to think. Because when you take a loss and it starts hurting your identity, that's when you go into a trough. Because then you can't handle the loss. You want to make it back as quick as possible to redeem yourself and you redeem your ego. And that's when you start going into these negative spirals. But if you stay humble, if you understand that you're just executing an edge, and in that edge, losses are part of the game, and you just trust that if you execute that edge correctly, you will be profitable within a long enough time frame. Then when that loss comes, you'll shrug it off. You'll be like, wait, just took a loss, no big deal, part of the game, move on to the next one. And it won't hurt you. Either stay humble or the market will humble you. That's the truth. Strategy number 4, always refer to previous pain. This one's pretty uncomfortable, but it's super powerful. Whenever you feel like taking a trade that's not a part of your playbook or strategy, or you feel like you're starting to deviate or want a revenge trade, just close your eyes and think back to the last time you blew your account, or the last time you took a massive loss, or the last time you spiraled out of control. Really remember it. How did it feel? How shitty was that feeling? How dead did you feel like for the next couple of days? How empty did you feel? You woke up the next day and you don't even have money to trade with. How did that feel? How disappointed were you in yourself? How embarrassing was it? Try to refer and feel every single feeling you felt back when this happened last time, when you made these stupid mistakes. Let it just wash over you. The guilt, the embarrassment, the pain, the feeling of, all right, now I have to just make this amount of money just to be back to where I was because I made this stupid mistake and let myself go. And I thought I would get away with it just this one time, but I couldn't. I never get away with this. Just let that feeling sink in. And then ask yourself, do I want to feel that feeling again? Because I absolutely will. If I keep going this trajectory, I 100% will feel that feeling again. And I will experience those kind of feelings again. And this isn't about beating yourself up. This is about using your previous past self as a teacher. You've already paid your tuition. You've already blown your accounts. You've already made costly mistakes. Why do it again? Learn from it and use it. And I have another bonus tip that I want to share with y'all. This is for all the people that always get to that last percent of their account, but can't seem to pass it. What you have to do is next time you're on the last 2 or 1% of passing your account, you take a piece of paper and you write down the exact strategy you want to see, the exact entry model you want to see, like to a T. You even like draw the candles and the support and resistance, whatever your strategy is, just draw it. If it's a compensation play, draw the perfect compensation play where all the rules are followed. Paste it in front of your wall. Now, until you pass that account, you won't take another trade than what's on that paper. That's the only trade you're allowed to take. And this is how, when you're in a high pressure environment, like the last 1% of your account, you're able to perform objectively because you wrote that strategy down when you're objective and when you weren't in a high pressure environment. So if you just follow what you did then, which is on your wall, because you pasted it on your wall, you should be able to perform objectively and rationally in a high pressure stakes environment. So next time you're about to pass the last percent, draw out the perfect setup, paste it on your wall, and just take that entry. And the last and final demon and psychology issue is external stressors, or as I call it, why you shouldn't trade right after fighting with your girlfriend. Trading doesn't exist in a vacuum. You're not a robot in a black void staring at charts 24/7. You're a human being. You have a life outside of the charts, I hope. And everything that happens in that life of yours will affect your trading as well, whether you like it or not. So let's talk about some non-negotiable rules for how to balance your life with trading. First is a secure income. This is the foundation, the bedrock, the base of the pyramid. Rent, bills, food, kids if you have them, car payment, these need to be covered by a secure income. And that is before you even think about trading. Because if losing a trade means you can't pay rent, you will be so emotional during that trade that you won't even be able to think straight. You're going to hang on to that trade like it's a fucking life raft. You won't be able to accept the loss. You'll probably move stop loss. When you're in profit, you probably want to gain even more profit. Your emotions are completely going to hijack your brain. If you blow your entire account, you should still be able to live like you did last month. You should still be able to eat food, cover all your bills, pay for whatever you need to pay for, and still have a roof on top of your head. I always say this, trading is a way to go from little money to a lot of money. It's not a way to go from zero to everything. Trading is not some rags to riches story. You need to have a secure income. Otherwise, if you're trading, again, with money that will affect your survival state, money that will affect how you live your life, then every single trade will be super heavily influenced by that. And you'll be super emotional when taking trades. But if you know that you're safe, your car is paid, you can pay for your kids, food is paid, rent is paid, everything is paid, and you're trading with some side money that you can afford to lose, then you'll be able to focus much better. You'll be able to learn much quicker because it won't be as emotional. You won't need to win. You want to win, but you won't need it. And needing something in trading is the worst thing ever because needing something is super emotionally loaded. So here's the rule. Only trade if you have a secure income that can pay for your necessary requirements. Simple as that. With the side money that you have left over, you can trade with that money. That's your willing to lose money. Trade the money you would spend on going out. Trade the money you would spend on a video game. Trade the money you spend on new clothes that you don't need. Trade that money because you can afford to lose that because you don't need those things. But do not trade your rent money, borrowed money. Do not trade money if you feel like, oh, if I lose this money, I'm gonna have a pretty tough next month. Never trade that kind of money. And this is coming from somebody who did trade their rent money and slept on his brother's couch for 5 months. And trust me, it's not fun. And another rule is don't trade when you're emotionally loaded. You had a fight with your wife, or your girlfriend dumped you, or you were in a car accident, or your dog died, whatever it is. When you're in a high emotional state, avoid the charts. Because trading is already stressful as it is. So don't add gasoline to the fire. If you want to trade, make sure you're in a calm state of mind. Make sure nothing else is bugging your brain. There are other ways to take emotions out. Don't use trading as a way to, oh, if I make a little bit of money, I can at least feel better for myself. Don't use trading as that. I've done that, right? I've used trading to cope. I had low self-esteem, something happened, terrible news. And then I went to the charts and I tried to make a couple $100 just so I can feel better for myself. But that never works out. So there are other ways to do it. Go to the gym, go punch a wall, go scream into a pillow. There's other way to take your anger out than the charts. And the last and final thing for this section is a disciplined life equals a disciplined trading. This is the big one that basically connects everything. Because the charts are just a mirror. They just show who you are. You can't have a messy, undisciplined life and hop into the charts and expect to be the most disciplined trader ever. The charts are not a vacuum, like I said earlier. It's a part of your life. So if your life is messy and undisciplined, well, you're going to be messy and undisciplined on the charts as well. So you have to get your life in order first. And I know that's hard to hear, but that's the truth. You cannot start with trading. You have to start with your life. Get your life in order, become a disciplined person, and then that will show in the charts and the trading will be so much easier. Because quite honestly, I haven't met a profitable trader that is also a lazy person. The most profitable traders I know are people that either run another business on the side, they wake up at the same time every day, they're very healthy, they eat good, they have a diet on point, they have their workout on point, they have the gym on point, they have their relations on point, everything is on point in their life because they're consistent and disciplined all across the board, not just in trading. And that's easy to fix, right? Collect small wins throughout the day. Make your bed when you wake up, that's one win. Eat right, that's one win. Hit the gym, that's one win. And then by the time you sit in front of the charts, you've already proved to yourself that you are a disciplined person. And you've already proved that to your brain. And then it's much easier to actually be focused and have good confidence on the charts. So that means that disciplined life equals a disciplined trader. Don't forget that. In conclusion, all I've talked in this video is that psychology is 90% of trading. And these are some of the biggest psychological problems that traders face. And we've tackled pretty much all of them in this video. So if this video was helpful to you, please hit the like button, subscribe, or go watch one of my other videos where I explain my 90% win rate strategy for you so you can actually start to make some money on the charts and backtest it for yourself. Anyways, you know what to do now. Master the psychology and everything else will fall into place. Zoom out, stay humble, follow your rules, and get your life in order. And trading will be a breeze after that. Also, don't forget the markets will be here tomorrow. No need to rush the process. Take it day by day. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.